EA built a casino inside a children's football game. That's not my opinion. Belgium ruled these packs illegal gambling and prosecutors opened a criminal file. EA admitted that in its own SEC filings. The product, a pack of digital football cards, the odds of the special card your kid actually wants, and this is EA's own odds page under 1%. The money, $1.6 billion a year from packs. And when the British Parliament asked EA's lawyer whether that was ethical, she said, word for word, they are not loot boxes. They are surprise mechanics. Quite ethical and quite fun. A gamer told that same committee EA's testimony was, quote, a bare-faced lie. Thomas Carter's 4 kids emptied his bank account in 3 weeks. £550 on packs. They never got messy. So tonight, EA is on trial, 4 charges, and by the end, a verdict and one number that tells you whether your kid's game is still a game. And stay for the ending. Because 4 days ago, somebody bought the casino with a mortgage, and a mortgage has to be paid. Charge 1. Open a pack and watch what actually happens. The music swells, the seal tears. The cards do not just appear, they rise, one by one, rarity last. Belgium's gambling regulator described it shot by shot in an official report. The tension, they wrote, is built up in multiple steps. That is not game design language. That is slot machine language, from the people whose job is regulating slot machines.
There is a name for the engine underneath, variable ratio reinforcement. B.F. Skinner proved it in the 1950s. Reward an action sometimes unpredictably and the behavior becomes compulsive. Far stronger than rewarding it every time. A design ethicist put it to Parliament in one sentence. It is the randomness that creates the addiction. And the cruelest part is engineered too. The near miss. Neuroscientists at Cambridge put gamblers in a brain scanner in 2009. Almost winning lights up the same reward circuitry as winning and it increases the urge to play again. Now look at the pack reveal. You see the rarity glow first, then you find out what you got. That is a near miss machine. A 2021 study measured it directly on loot boxes. Rarer reveals spike your skin conductance before you even see the card.
Here is who the machine is tuned for. Researchers got hold of the industry's own purchase data. Roughly 5% of buyers generate about half of all loot box revenue. And of that top 5%, almost a third are problem gamblers. One more finding, and it is the one that ends the whales or just rich guys' defense. There is no evidence the big spenders earn more money. They are not wealthier. They are more vulnerable. That is the machine. Now the question that decides the whole trial. Who is sitting in front of it? The UK Gambling Commission surveys children every year. Around a quarter of 11 to 16-year-olds have paid to open loot boxes. Not played, paid. And when researchers checked the app stores, over 90% of the games containing loot boxes were rated suitable for children 12 and up.
The science here is not one study, it is a wall of them. The bigger someone's loot box spending, the worse their problem gambling score across 15 peer-reviewed studies and 2 meta-analyses. In adults, the link is about as strong as the one between problem gambling and alcohol dependence. In teenagers, it doubles, the researcher's own conclusion. Either loot boxes are creating problem gambling in adolescents, or they are extracting money from adolescents who already have it. There is no third option where this is fine.
And we ran the experiment by accident. When Blizzard removed paid loot boxes from one of its games, problem gamblers' spending collapsed by 42%. Everyone else's spending. It did not move. One group was funding the machine, the group it was built to catch. A researcher interviewing children wrote down this line. At sleepovers, the first question is not what film are we watching. It is, quote, are you going to get some FIFA points for us to watch you open some packs? A machine built like a slot machine in front of children. The defense will say nobody proved they knew, except they wrote it down. Follow EA's own annual reports. Ultimate Team was 15% of EA's revenue, then 21%, then 29%, $1.6 billion in a single year. And then, in 2022, the number disappears. EA simply stopped disclosing how much of the company runs on packs. When a number makes you look good, you print it. When it becomes the story, you bury it. Then, in 2021, someone inside EA leaked a 54-page internal strategy deck to Canadian journalists. FIFA Ultimate Team, in EA's own words to itself, was the cornerstone. Quote, "We are doing everything we can to drive players there." And one bullet, 3 words, that should be read out at every regulatory hearing on this subject. All roads lead to FUT. The currency you earn by simply playing. The deck calls it grind currency. EA's response when confronted was that the document was taken out of context and that most players never spend a penny. Hold that defense. It is coming back. Michael, 32, used a European data request to make EA hand over his own numbers. $10,000 in 2 years on FIFA packs. Jonathan Pennickett burned through £3,000 of the university fund his grandparents built, chasing packs while his mother went through cancer treatment. His words, "I was addicted to the buzz of chance." They built it, they measured it, and they steered everyone toward it. Last charge. It is no longer just EA. Activision patented a matchmaking system designed to pair you against a player whose paid weapon you would envy. Its engineers wrote it down and filed it with the patent office. Activision says it was never switched on. NBA 2K put an actual slot machine and a prize wheel in a game rated E for everyone. Roblox is being sued by state attorneys general over children gambling its currency on casino sites. The machine EA perfected is now the industry's default setting. And the world is finally moving. Australia mandatory mature ratings for paid loot boxes. The FTC, a $20 million fine over a gacha game's tricks on children. Brazil, a full ban on loot boxes for minors, signed into law effective this March. New York's Attorney General is suing Valve over Counter-Strike cases right now. 2019 was a workshop. 2026 is enforcement. Now the defense, and it is real so it gets said properly. In court, EA keeps winning. The Netherlands fined them €10 million. The highest Dutch court threw it out. FIFA is a game of skill and the packs are part of it. Austria's Supreme Court ruled the same way in December. EA discloses pack odds. Most players truly never spend. And you cannot cash cards out for money, which is exactly why in most of the world this is not legally gambling. That is the defense. It is not nothing.
Here is my verdict, and it is not the one EA's lawyers are afraid of. Legally, they keep winning. The courts say this isn't gambling, and I have to give them that. But that was never the real charge. The real charge is this. They built a machine with the psychology of a slot machine. They put it in games children play. Their own leaked documents show every road was designed to lead there, and the money comes disproportionately from the people least able to walk away. 5% of buyers, half the revenue, a third of them problem gamblers. Not rich, vulnerable. That's the number I promised you, and no court ruling makes it okay. If you think business should answer for how it makes its money, not just whether it's technically legal, that's what this channel does every week. Subscribe and put your verdict in the comments. Game or casino?
Because here is why this gets worse, not better. On August the 4th, EA stopped being a public company. A $55 billion buyout, the largest all-cash take-private in history, led by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, with Jared Kushner's firm along for the ride. Around $18 billion of the price is borrowed. Against EA itself, reports put the interest bill near $2 billion a year. EA's entire operating cash flow last year, $2.5 billion. We have seen this film before. In 2007, the largest buyout in history loaded a Texas power company with $40 billion in debt. 7 years later, bankruptcy. When debt that size meets a business, the business gets squeezed. And EA has exactly one lever that prints money on demand. An industry analyst said it out loud the week the deal was announced. Servicing this debt means more microtransactions, more fear of missing out storefronts, and the resources come from everywhere else. The loot box did not survive the sale. It got a promotion. Numbers as of August 2026. The filings are linked below. Court is adjourned. Next on trial. The company, a federal jury just found guilty on every single count. And the $1.72 they took from every ticket you bought.